Okay, welcome back, guys. So I've made some pretty good money on Etsy over the last few years, and I've also worked directly with you guys to make some pretty good money online too. So I know firsthand that Etsy, it can be a path to financial freedom. But there is one thing that most people will not tell you, and that is that most Etsy sellers, they really struggle and they quit within the first few months. They waste days, sometimes even weeks creating products that nobody wants, burn through their savings, and just watch the competition get rich while beginners are just sat there wondering, what am I doing so wrong? Why is it not working for me? And you know what, guys? Maybe that's you right now. So I'm going to give you 7 tips that are going to massively help to separate you from all of the other people that start, struggle, don't get results, and then ultimately quit. So let's start with tip number 1. And you see it day in, day out. Lots of beginner sellers make this mistake. And that is blurry photos, bad lighting, and just overall poor product presentation. And then you see it all the time. As soon as the presentation of the product is changed and enhanced, so better pictures, better photography, better lighting, better mock-ups, etc., the sales guys can literally double overnight if you get this one thing right. Especially as a beginner, you just don't know the impact that this can make until you make these changes, and then you see the difference in your stats. And if you're struggling to make sales, especially if you've got low click-through rates, so low CTRs, then this could well be your problem too. And you see, sometimes the best pictures, they're the ones that you can really feel through the screen. You can really feel the product through the screen. So for example, guys, you can see here, this listing looks okay. It shows the product, but it's very different to this other listing where you can really feel the product in your hands, So that's going to make a huge difference when it comes to selling anything online. And guys, if you're selling products that need mocking up, honestly, just take the time to get the mock-up right. I say it all the time, seriously, just get a mock-up system that works well for you, spend the time on that first one, and then after that, it's just copy and paste. The only thing you're changing is the design. And if you're selling physical products, guys, you can take the product images yourself. I've shown this tip a million times. Use your phone, go to the portrait mode. This is gonna blur the background out, and it's gonna make the product just pop and stand out so much more in your images. And guys, make sure to test your images and see what they look like on mobile, because over 65% of Etsy shoppers, they're shopping on mobile. And so a very good tip to check this is to, when you're scrolling on Etsy, just squint your eyes a little bit. Squint your eyes so everything goes a little bit blurry, and just see if your product images really still stand out. That should really help. And now this next single decision will be the difference between making just $100 or a few tens of $1,000s on Etsy over the year. And you know what? This is a mistake that I've made myself before as well. When I first started on Etsy, I used to think it was all about having the most fanciest products out there, having the most perfect listings, and just selling things that never go out of style. But then I realized that there was other Etsy shops out there, and you might know this yourself, right? You go on Etsy, you see some shops, 50,000, 100,000, a couple 100,000 sales, and you're thinking, what are they doing differently to what I'm doing? And more often than not, guys, it comes down to the fact that they have just found a profitable niche. And I mean, my first business that really blew up on Etsy was Japanese tableware. You cannot get more niche than that, in my opinion, and yet it absolutely blew up. So finding the profitable niche is so important, guys. So it is going to be crucial to check the viability and check how viable your niche is before you actually go to market with it. Me personally, I like to use research apps. I do use Everbee. First thing I'll do before I sell anything or look at any new niche, check how viable it is, check how many sales products are making in that niche, look at the different revenue figures so that you know that there is at least some proof of concept in what you're doing. And guys, look, we've all done it, haven't we? We've all made products that we think are amazing, and sometimes that's not what the market wants. And if you try and sell something that there's no demand for, that the market doesn't want, you could spend a year on your Etsy shop and you won't make many sales at all. So guys, that's why, honestly, the research apps like Everbee, there's other ones out there. I personally like Everbee. I think it's the easiest and the best. They're so important, guys. With Everbee, you can literally go on there, you can search for products that you're looking at selling, search for niches you're looking at selling, see all of the sales stats for those products. You can go in depth at shops in your niche, see what products are selling best for them, take ideas, take inspiration. And of course, guys, when it comes to actual keywords within your niche, which is very important, by the way, you can also see search volumes to competitions for different keywords in your niche. Again, extremely important to show that there is people actually searching for keywords that you're going to be using for your products. And yeah, guys, I just think this is a no-brainer. I see so many beginner sellers fall down because of incorrect niche selection, or they think they're selling something people want, but they actually don't. And so, yeah, I recommend, guys, hop on a research app if you really want to be serious with this. The one I recommend is Everbee. If you wanted to check them out for free, then there is going to be a sponsored link in the video description. And so that should help you to get your niche dialed in. But then you see this next bit is where most people mess up next. So many people end up just trying to chase the most perfect opportunity on Etsy. They try and hop on the most perfect wave, the most perfect trend. And the actual shops that make a lot of sales sustainably are doing something very different. Because you see, I've had people come to me and they're always just trying to find the most perfect business model, okay? They start off and say print on demand selling t-shirts. Then they move to selling mugs. Then they say, oh, let me try selling some digital products. And then they change to something else. Maybe it's like printables, or maybe it's planners, you know? And we all do it, right? It's easy to switch, see the next shiny object, and think that that is the golden ticket. In reality, you are so much better off, guys, focusing and just nailing down on one specific business model until you master it. Because, you know, you're going to realize something. All of these business models can be profitable. There's people on YouTube, there's people out there, there's Etsy shops that are living, breathing proof that all of these different business models, you can make very good money with them. But the only thing that's stopping you potentially from making money with them is the fact that you just keep chopping and changing all the time. So, you know, even if you've only made, say, 100 listings in a specific business model, more than likely that is not enough quantity to viably rule out that business model for you if you're not making the sales that you should be making. So my best advice, guys, lock into a business model slash niche slash Etsy shop for a minimum of 6 months. Okay, minimum 6 months. Give it your everything, give it your best shot. And if you've done something consistently and properly, continuing to learn, make mistakes, learn from them for 6 months, and you're still not making success, then I'd say, okay, let's now look to switch. But just give something your all and don't let shiny object syndrome kill your odds of being successful before you even get started. And guys, speaking of commitment, there's a counterintuitive strategy that a lot of these massive Etsy shops use to be successful, and it completely goes against what you've been taught about perfection. Because, yeah, look, here's the thing, all right? The biggest thing holding beginners back, especially, isn't necessarily the niche, the business model, the product, how they're listing their images. And like, yes, as we've discussed in this video up until now, they are all incredibly important. So to me, that should be the standard. That's the baseline that you have to get right. But then there's going to be a major thing that's still going to hold you back. And that is procrastinating on actually doing the work and getting the listings out. Because look, guys, the truth is the first few listings that you make in an online business in this new world of selling on Etsy you might be stepping into, they're not going to be the best. Just like anything, you need to do something a lot. You need to do 100 repetitions of something before you start to get good at it. And guys, I can tell you this now. If you make an Etsy shop, your 100th listing will be better than your first listing. And if you make an Etsy shop and you get to say 300 listings and they're higher quality, you should be making daily sales at that point. If you've got 300 listings and you're not making daily sales, then something is seriously wrong, okay? I promise you that, guys. And so if you take anything away from this video, make a listing schedule, even if it's just a few listings a week, stick to it and just put the time in and the results will follow, guys. But look, volume, again, that, like many things, is only one part of the battle. It's only one little slice of the cake. And sometimes the number one thing that actually stops people from converting and actually buying your listings isn't how many of them you've got out. And it's actually nothing to do with having more products. And I promise you guys, it literally takes just 5 minutes to fix this one. And so I know you're asking, all right, well, what is it? Go ahead and tell us. My main job that I do day to day is literally living and breathing Etsy as well. I see a lot of Etsy listings and the behind the scenes, and I can tell you the descriptions of your products and how you present your products, okay, they really matter. And you know, just sometimes the images and the descriptions, the ones that just kind of say like, hey, this is the product, you know, look how beautiful it is, they don't convert the best sometimes. A much better way to do your images and descriptions, guys, is to use infographics and focus mainly on answering questions that the customer may have about your products in the listing images and descriptions, okay? The number one reason somebody won't convert on your listing is because they do not trust the listing or they've got unanswered questions, right? If somebody has clicked through to your product, that is because they like the look of the product. All you've got to do then is make them feel comfortable enough to buy the product. So yeah, if you sell apparel, make sure you include size guides. Whatever you're selling, make sure you include return and refund policies. If you're selling something like a mug, for example, make sure you show that the mug is going to arrive safe. And yeah, guys, just use a level of common sense here in your listings. If you go to shop online for something and you have questions in your head and they don't answer the questions, make sure that you don't do the same in your listings. Any questions you think the customer may have about the product, make sure that information is included in the listing. And now that you've got your descriptions dialed in, guys, a huge percentage of sellers, especially beginner sellers, they're still making this next fatal mistake. And that is that they think they can just copy what is working on Etsy now and get great success with it. But guys, the truth about this one is that Etsy is just one place to get product research from. Okay, it's just one place to do your product research, and more often than not, it is not the first place where trends appear. So instead, guys, I recommend spend a bit of time each week looking on other platforms like, Pinterest trends, Google Analytics, even Amazon, even Google Shopping, even just scrolling through Instagram, right? You'll get lots of inspiration for products that could become bestsellers. You'll notice trends. You can then incorporate your trends into your own designs. And suddenly then, guys, you're bringing something new and unique to the platform, and you can become the market leader. For example, guys, you'll know yourself if you do any shopping on Etsy, the silly goose trend, the sardine slash fisherman slash coastal trend, right? That's only trending and that only exists on Etsy because somebody brought it to Etsy, right? And now it's just exploded. So you want to be the person to bring trends to Etsy, not the person that's always trying to copy and paste exactly what other sellers are doing. And now, guys, I want to give you a little visual trick that is going to make customers instantly trust your shop and improve your conversion rates so much more, especially as a brand new beginner shop with not many sales and not many reviews. And this is cohesive branding. So guys, look, while everybody is just slapping up a banner, slapping up a logo, just chopping and changing images, and they have just no cohesive brand or appearance throughout the whole shop, you want to be different, you want to look professional, and you want to look high quality. And so I always say this, guys, from day one, you want to have a very good idea of not just your niche, but I always say you want to know what your store is going to look like when you've got between 500 and 1,000 products on that store. Okay, you want to know the fonts, the color palettes, how your listings are being laid out, what products you want to sell, what niches and sub niches you want to be targeting. Okay, you need a brand and you need to know at least a rough guideline of the target audience that you want to sell your brand and your products to. And guys, not only is this going to make it easier for your listings to stand out and for your shop more than most to stand out on Etsy, but it's also going to make it very easy for you to systemize your approach to making listings and make just that whole process so much more seamless and so much easier. And guys, like I said in the video, if you want to dive that level deeper and actually get some proof of concept of what you're doing rather than just running circles, doing a lot of guesswork and putting loads of time and effort into things that there could be no demand for, make sure to check out Everbee. You can do it for free. There is that link in the video description. But otherwise, guys, even if you've done all the tips I mentioned in this video and you're still not getting the traffic, then there is another option which is literally proven to drive high levels of traffic to your shop, not relying on Etsy. This is through Pinterest. Pinterest can be extremely powerful to getting you organic clicks. So I've done a whole tutorial on how to do this properly for your Etsy shop. If you want to check it out, guys, I recommend you to have a look at this video here. Otherwise, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Take good care of yourself, guys. Thank you for your time today. Catch you on the next one. Cheers.